Fun fact, Top Dog Entertainment was founded in 2004 by Anthony Tiffin, aka Top Dog. Play the music. Open Mic. I'm your host, Jamal Radio Raheem. Now, Open Mic is a music podcast. You can get it anywhere that you get podcasts. You can also watch it on YouTube if you're one of those visual people like myself. Now, today's episode, the first episode of the new season, we are going to have two guests. We got my homies, the co-host of the Yapper Quartet with your boy. You got Will and Autumn. We're going to talk about the new Kendrick album. We're going to talk about West Coast dominating in hip hop this year. And then I'm going to give my top 20 TDE albums. Let's get it, shawty. Kendrick Lamar dropped his album out of nowhere, surprising everybody. So, what are y'all thoughts on the album? I'm going to give my thoughts, and then we're going to just see where the conversation goes. Will, go ahead and give me your thoughts first, because Autumn's going to glaze.
I really like the album. I'm really liking the album. I listened to it like twice today, 3 times yesterday when it came out. Like, yeah, I'm digging this fucking album. The energy is just high. He's just talking his shit, he's doing his thing. He's not really having to go too deep into a concept. He does have a lot of layers. Like on Reincarnated, Man at the Garden. There's just there's a lot of depth here, but it's not like you don't have to be like actively listening on this one as much as his other albums, I'd say. But yeah, no, I'm digging this album. It's not crazy. It's not his best or anything, but I like this album more than Mr. Morale. I'll say that. Not that I don't like Mr. Morale, but that's an album that I don't revisit. This, tons of replay value, like the whole album through. Yeah.
I think this album, you don't have to listen to like all the albums, and you can skip around if you want.
Oh, for sure.
Like the other albums, you have to listen to the song before to get to the song after, like, because of the concept. I think personally there is a concept with this album, but I don't think the concept is. I think the concept is like riding around your car type of energy, mixtape energy. I don't think it's like how To Pimp a Butterfly was like Black Struggle, how Good Kid, Mad City was like a film. Mr. Morale is like a fucking therapy session. Like Damn is literally like the story from like if this would have happened, blah blah blah. So I feel like this is like a mixtape vibe, like cruising in the car, West Coast. Like it feels very West Coast.
Yeah.
So obviously, I like that shit. Like even his flow on certain songs, I'm like, oh, this is literally for us. Like, if you don't like the LA sound in particular, I don't think you're gonna like this album. And that's the thing. But Autumn, what do you think about the album?
I agree with what both of y'all just said. I think the album is really good. I wasn't expecting him to drop this Friday, like at all. Like I didn't. The snippet was one thing, but then like 5-10 minutes after that, the entire album, like I was not expecting that. So that was a decent surprise. I think the replay value for this album is really high, and I agree with the point of like you don't really have to listen in order. You can kind of skip around if you want. However, I don't think there's any skips for me for right now. I would listen to it front to back and just go from there. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I think, like Jamal, like you just said, like if you don't like West Coast sound, LA sound, you probably not gonna like it as much as his other previous albums. However, I do think there's a lot of lyrical depth to this album, but the production overshadows it in comparison to his other albums. It's like the production is a little bit more like, just not as upbeat, I guess. So you focus more on what he's saying versus in this album, you're focusing more on what it sounds like versus what he's saying. But even if you look at what he's saying, he's still saying much, especially like in the intro song. So it's like there's still like really good bars there, and there's still really like good like entendres, triple entendres, double entendres, whatever you want to call them. In the album, it's just like you can tell this is for people. I think this is for the people who were complaining that Kendrick can't have fun and he can't make songs that are fun and uplift, like just good production that's not so focused heavily on what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And also like all the homage back to his the West Coast in general, because all the features are West Coast, right? So that's good, like a homage to his city, the coast in itself, the sound, like it's
Yeah.
everything that I would imagine him doing. And if he was gonna do a West Coast album, this is what I imagined it to be like, and I think he executed it really well.
Hmm. So this is not what I expected. Because when I think if he was gonna do a West Coast album, I would want like DJ Quick, um, Problem, or Jason Martin, like those type of people on there. But I do like that he got like smaller artists and put them on a scale that nobody was gonna listen to any of them artists if they weren't on this album, unless you're like tapped into like West Coast music. And even then, like a couple of them, I'm like, I don't listen to them at all. If it wasn't for this Kendrick album, I probably wouldn't listen to them at all. So I do think that I didn't look at the production credits, but I'm assuming it's all West Coast producers. Like, I'm assuming, because I know Terrence Martin, which, whatever, we're not going to get into, is he a hip hop producer or not? But we know how I feel. I know Kamashi Washington's on there. I know, obviously, Soundwave's on there. Mustard. So I feel like he went and got West Coast producers, like, on purpose. Like, he went into this album with a purpose. Like, this is West Coast.
Where is Jack? Where's he from? Jack Antonoff? How do you pronounce his name?
The Jack Antonoff, the Taylor Swift boy.
Where's he from?
Probably LA, to be honest.
Okay, because he's credited on all the songs, I think, as well.
He
I
is from.
wonder if he did that to be petty.
He's from New Jersey.
Oh, so he probably did that to be petty.
He was born in New Jersey and raised in New Jersey.
Oh, then yeah.
So
overall, I think it was a good execution, good exhibition of homage and still having fun, but not so lyrically heavy. Even though the lyrics are it's still good lyrics. It's just not as heavy as compared to like Mr. Morale, right? So definitely good for casual listening, I would say, and it passes the car test, of course.
Yeah.
So overall,
Yeah.
I'm happy. But then again, like I like Kendrick in all his. I've liked him in all his phases so far. So it's hard. It was probably gonna be really hard for me to be like this shit's ass, right? So
yeah.
but
I don't think you would have anyways.
I don't think Kendrick was. I don't think he's really capable of. Let me not say capable because knock on wood, you never fucking know. But he's proven time and time again that like you can tell he takes time with some of the stuff. Even though I saw on Twitter the GNX beat, he got that 2 days ago before the album came out. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And for him to work so fast and everything sounds relatively really good, that's a skill in itself.
Yeah. I think that I think that the narrative so I think people are overvaluing replay value though, and that's something that I'm seeing a lot in the conversations, because I don't really care for replay value, because if I'm listening to Pimp a Butterfly, I know exactly what mood it's going to, like, what it's going to do. I'm not listening to that to fucking turn up, or if I'm listening to Good Kid, Mad City. But the album, and even still with this album that I think has the most replay value, is still Damn. Like, even with this album coming out, I think Damn is universally everybody. It's for everybody. It's not just for the West Coast. It's not just for the ladies. It's not just for the niggas. It's for everybody. So to me, it's still Damn as far as replay value. But I don't really care about that. So What are your favorite songs or song? I'm gonna say song because I don't want y'all to give me like 3 songs. What is your favorite song off of the listens that you've had so far?
Let me look at the track list, child.
It's tough. Well, one.
Yeah, one.
That's not fair. Okay,
Yeah,
actually,
it's not fair.
It's really not fair.
I'm gonna go with whacked out murals.
That's not fair.
I respect that.
There's 12 songs on the
And
album.
the intro is so fucking hard. Like, man.
One is pretty tough.
There's literally 12 songs. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's not a lot. So that's why I'm saying one. All right, get 3. Fuck it, 3.
All right. 3. Whacked out murals.
Mm-hmm.
Reincarnated and
Mm.
damn. I'll go. Those 2 for sure.
I gave you more songs and you still struggling. you complained about getting more songs and you still.
That was Will who said that, not me.
Hey, I'm ready.
You said one song and I said whacked out murals and I was like, all right, I'm done. You adding shit
for you guys, but whatever.
I didn't ask for that. Anyway, whacked out murals, reincarnated. I don't know 4/3. It's really hard.
Oh my god. Okay.
I guess I'll go with TV off. I guess.
You guess.
I mean,
ain't no gun to your head.
I generally like all the songs, so it's like I don't. It just came out as well.
That's cool.
That's why I'm asking you right now. It can change over time.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens with music.
Okay, yeah, those 3 for right now.
All right.
Solid.
Yeah, solid. Luther, Man of the Garden, and Reincarnated.
Damn. I know you would pick those 3 too.
Hey.
That Luther, I knew this once I heard the sample, I said, that's Will.
Come on.
That's Will.
That crazy. Oh my gosh. Amazing flip. Like that, yeah.
For me, it's The Heart Part 6.
Yeah.
Whacked Out Murals. I'm gonna go with TV off. But Peekaboo is a song that I'm playing the most right now. Not gonna lie.
Peekaboo is hard. Peekaboo goes hard.
That's the song I'm playing the most.
Yeah. He updated the track list.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he have the artist on there?
Yeah, he added the artist. Roddy Ricch is on Dr. Blue. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Mustard. I've been walking around saying that all day, but
I don't know what possessed him to say that.
But the thing is, though, when you listen to, that's why I know a lot of people also don't listen to him. He always has like weird, like little things that he like ad libs.
He does, but I was not expecting him to
like, yeah, what?
I was like, what the fuck? Like, it sounds good, but it's just like you trying to be funny right now.
I thought it was a tag. Like when I first heard it, I was like, is this a new DJ Mustard tag?
No, it's not.
But it's not. Mustard should use that as a tag. But I thought it was a new tag. I was like, oh, that's cool. But I'm glad that he's worked with Mustard too. I want to see them work together more often. I don't know why it took this long for the shit to happen. They both been in the game for like 15 fucking years. So I don't know why it took so long, but I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. All we need is a J-Rock album. Then my year is made. Everything I asked for, I got almost this year. So literally almost got everything. I got a J. Cole. I got the mixtapes on streaming.
It's already almost December though.
Still.
No.
J-Rock, TDE. We waiting. So I gotta bring this up because it's been bothering me and I don't want to make a TikTok video about it. Lil Wayne's tweet about he ain't doing nothing. I can read the tweet. Let me find it. This stupid ass tweet. Lil Wayne said, "Man, what the fuck? What did I do? I just be chilling. I hate how niggas type text too. Just spell the words right. If you're gonna use the same amount of letters, just spell the words right. Anyway, still come from my head. Let's not take my kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep, I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me. But I shall destroy if disturbed. On me. Love.
Corny as fuck.
Yeah, that's pretty lame, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Cause like I just don't get why you doubling down again. Why don't you just say congratulations? Like I don't fucking understand. Like Kendrick has a whole mixtape dedicated to you, nigga. You're the greatest inspiration. You can't say congratulations. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you this bitter about the Super Bowl? You should have been bitter about the Super Bowl years ago. This is not the first Super Bowl in New Orleans. I don't understand. Like, and then pretend like the victim mindset of like, what did I do? You know what you did, and you're doing it again. Like now if Kendrick diss his ass, I'm gonna be like, well,
First of all, he threw a shot. That was a clear shot.
I don't think that was a diss, to be honest. Like it's
That's
just
a shot.
I think
No, it's
Kendrick
not a
is just saying like
shot.
I'm just disappointed. Like
Yeah.
somebody I really look up to. It seems like I let them down. Like I don't think that's really a diss.
The line after was whatever though. Like,
Yeah, because like it is what
shot.
it is.
Okay.
Like the
Okay.
nigga is like he's still doing the Super Bowl.
Listen,
Yeah.
What the fuck he gonna do? Like
listen. I personally think Lil Wayne's a legend. Let me preface that. He's a legend.
Mhm.
I think he's done though when it comes to performing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If this was 2007 or 8, hell yeah, have Wayne on that stage. Like I
exactly.
don't think it should even be a question. But just almost 20 years later, bro, what are you going to perform? The Carter 3 came out when I was like in high school. I've been out of high school for damn near 15 years, 14 years. Okay, chill out. Chill
Didn't
out.
say
No, no, it's
anything.
not
You
you,
didn't
Will. It's
say
Autumn.
anything. You could have just kept rolling.
I
You could.
couldn't because Autumn made a face and
I'm sorry.
I couldn't let that just whatever. What is he going to perform? That's the thing though. And also, what songs is he going to perform that is suitable for a Super Bowl?
His hits.
No. What? Okay, Lollipop,
Hey.
a Millie.
It's just gonna be a constant beeping, beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
Like I love Lil
Like
Wayne.
it's just
You know
gonna
what I'm
be mute.
saying? He in my top 5. Like, but I don't want to see Lil Wayne dancing around the stage performing Lollipop
Yeah. No, I don't want
or
to.
a Millie
Yeah.
or
You have to do
whatever.
more. He'd
Like
have to.
I don't want to see it. You know, like
Yeah.
he had his Lil Louisiana Fest, and I didn't like that he took that opportunity and took the shine from himself. Like the city is showing you so much love. New Orleans is showing you so much love. All these people came out, packed out the arena for you and the Hot Boys, and you made it about the Super Bowl. You are putting your city on right now. Like the people who are going to the Super Bowl, most of them aren't going to be from New Orleans. Most of them aren't going to be local people anyways. It's going to be people from all over. You have the people there, your fans there. Celebrate them. Why bring the Super Bowl up? Like he's saying he don't know why people are talking. You know exactly why they are talking. You keep talking about it. In
Exactly.
every interview, you bring it up. Yeah, I was sad, man. I shed a tear. This soft ass. You shed a tear? Like, come on, Wayne. We better than that.
I feel like in a lot of this conversation, I feel like it has to do with because of who's doing the Super Bowl. Because if this was anybody else, I promise you this would not be as big as a thing as it is. Like, first off, Kendrick has already done the Super Bowl, so I don't know why this is like. Well, I know why, because like he's like the first rapper to do it solo, so I understand it's like a
Yeah.
big milestone for hip hop for the culture. I understand that, but if it was gonna be anybody, it should be Kendrick, especially in this year. Like, I don't think there's ever, let me not say ever, but I don't think this year could be represented without mentioning his name. And with all the clout that he has right now, and all like the what's it called, the conversation around him, it makes sense in a cultural standpoint, and it makes sense in a business standpoint. So I don't understand why like people don't understand that. Like they're not just picking Kendrick because of his relevancy. They picking this nigga because they know they can make some money too. First off,
Relevancy, they can make money. I also think that people actually don't care about the Super Bowl. Let's just be like, they only care because of Kendrick and the Drake beef. They don't really care about the Super Bowl. Nobody has really performed in their own town except the Super Bowl that Kendrick actually performed. Nobody really performs at their town. And they just started letting Black people perform at the Super Bowl because of Jay-Z.
yeah.
Like, why are we going to complain right now? We getting opportunities. Every year is Black people.
Right.
If it wasn't Kendrick,
like the past 4 years, so I'm like, what the fuck is I don't know. I just feel like he's coming. Lil Wayne is also coming from a place of entitlement because like you were not promised to do the Super Bowl like at all. So I don't understand why. Like I said, I think a lot of this just has to do with who's doing the Super Bowl rather than Lil Wayne actually being upset that he didn't get picked because he could have got pissed off last year, but he didn't do that. Like he's only mad because. And I feel like that's not. It's just unfortunate because Kendrick really likes him, and now my biggest inspiration is jealous of me, essentially. And that whole like, oh well, Lil Wayne might come out the Super Bowl, Kendrick might bring him out. That's
dead.
That's definitely
that's dead.
That's dead.
Show. Like if Kendrick actually brings out Wayne, do you know how much backlash he would get for that? Because it's like, why the fuck would you even allow this to even happen?
Wayne messed that up though. Like,
oh, yeah, absolutely. Right. I did think that it was a chance that he could have brought him out because he loves him so much. But after that, I feel like Kendrick. First off, Kendrick is insane and his ego is big. So I think he's gonna do the Super Bowl by himself. Honestly, I don't even know if Sis is gonna come out. To be honest, because like he's gonna take this. He's gonna take the opportunity to prove once again. You know, I am who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I wish Lil Wayne wasn't so corny about this because that would have been nice to see. But yeah.
I don't even know, like, if it wasn't Kendrick.
Yeah.
I don't even know who it would be in hip hop.
Yeah.
If it's not Kendrick, it's Drake. And I know how people feel about Drake, but that's the only person I would think would be like.
The thing is, Drake don't put on a show though, and I feel like that's one of Drake's biggest downfalls of why he either hasn't been offered for the Super Bowl or he hasn't done it yet. Because when I went to the Drake concert, literally, first off, he doesn't sing or rap the songs of how they are on the actual track. That's the first thing, and then two, he's just running around like there's no dancers, there's nothing. It's just him. And for the Super Bowl, you have to put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Drake is capable of putting on a show. We've seen Kendrick put on shows, so it's like it makes the most sense. If not Kendrick, yes Drake, but Drake don't put on shows, so like it wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, if we're talking about hip hop, just hip hop artists, those are the only two people. Because Travis Scott ain't doing it. Like,
Travis Scott done the Super Bowl though.
The Travis Scott is not doing the Super Bowl.
He has though.
When he did the Super Bowl?
Like 2015 or something, right?
2015.
No, not 2015.
He was like a guest or something.
Travis Scott?
Yeah, no, that was the same year. I think they did like the
straight up.
Like Travis Scott was at the Super Bowl already.
Yeah, I think it was.
He performed.
What was that?
Yeah.
You sure?
Was that the same year they did the SpongeBob intro?
Was that?
It wasn't. Honestly, it was not long ago.
No, it wasn't long ago.
It was under a decade ago, for sure.
2018.
Yeah, like it was not that far, that long.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
2018, 2019, maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember Travis Scott. That's why I'm trying.
Missy already done the Super Bowl as well.
Travis Scott Super Bowl.
Yeah, if not Kendrick or Drake, I would like to see Missy, but she already done the Super Bowl.
2019. Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he done the Super Bowl. Yeah.
He was a guest though. I'm talking about headlining.
Okay, well, yeah.
Travis Scott, it's the same way as this. I have the same critique for him that I have for Drake. You're not a performer. That show would be boring as fuck.
I feel like Travis Scott would at least be like.
No, he's got more energy than Drake.
He got a lot of energy. Yeah, and he could bring out a lot of people.
I've seen Travis Scott in concert. I'm just saying, like, it's not a performance though.
Sure. Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Like
But it's
he's lively. He can engage the crowd. Yes, absolutely. But
that's
a
that's a
performance.
part of his show. That's a part of his performance is getting the people engaged and getting the energy up.
If Travis Scott were to headline a Super Bowl, that would be boring as fuck. Because there's nothing to see. Like
I get that though. Yeah,
I get what you're saying. But
yeah,
the Super Bowl ain't just for black people. I just want people also like it's
right.
for the world. So
Yeah.
like he would just be boring. Like it would Travis Scott, I like his like I when I went to his concert and I've seen him in festivals, I enjoyed his set. It's just the Super Bowl though, like no, no, like you don't have
Yeah, no, I agree.
you're not a like you wouldn't like he wouldn't. It's just it wouldn't be like a true performance. It would just be like we at the festival.
I got you. I actually get that.
I agree with that.
So it's
I agree
like
with that.
no, but I think yeah, if not Kendrick, if not Drake, Travis.
I don't even think if it's not Kendrick or Drake, I don't even think it should be hip hop. As much as I love hip hop, I think that
It
it should
doesn't
go
need
to
to be.
like another genre.
No, I
It
think
doesn't need to
Travis
be.
is really John
But I
specific.
want it to be somebody black. So, and I'm not gonna pretend like that's not the case. I want somebody black. Jay-Z's in charge. And it need to be somebody black. I don't care if they mix. They need to be black. All right. So what I really want to talk about: West Coast dominating hip hop. We got our West Coasting in their third season, autumn. You feel me? We got Will, even though he be hating sometimes on the West
I
Coast.
don't. I
You know what I'm
really
saying?
do.
He don't
I
love the
do.
West Coast. You know, actually, for being real, Detroit and the Bay Area are basically the same. So we got them in here. They locked in. So how do y'all feel about one, do y'all think the West Coast has dominated hip hop? And how do you feel about where it's going as well? I don't know if that makes sense, the question, but
Are you saying dominated in general or like this year?
dominating hip hop in general. How do you feel about that? Do you think that the West Coast did dominate? Is the first question.
For
Yes.
sure. For this year, for
It has
sure.
in the past, and it absolutely is this year.
It has in the past. I love to hear that. You know what's crazy though? I'm not gonna bring it up. Actually, I'll talk to you after.
Yeah. Yeah. It has in the past, and it's absolutely doing it this year. Literally, my favorite albums of this year, like if I had to pick a top three right now, they're all from the West Coast. So yeah, hell yeah,
Mm,
hell yeah.
Nah,
yeah.
yeah. This year's been crazy for the West Coast, honestly. Tyler, Soul, Kendrick now. Who else?
Vince,
Vince.
huge.
Vince.
Like
Uh,
Uh, you got
Schoolboy.
Navy Blue dropped like 4 fucking albums this year. Not
yeah,
Navy Blue.
I like the new
Blue.
Yeah, I was
Blue
like,
dropped
yeah,
oh.
4 albums. Blue dropped 4 albums. He
Mhm.
yeah.
dropped one with Exile. He dropped what's that one? Royal Blue.
I
He
mean,
dropped like
Navy did
4.
drop it.
The Terrence
Navy
Martin
Blue dropped
album,
as well
that's not hip
though.
hop, but
Yeah, that
no,
Navy Blue album, amazing, by the way. But uh,
My top 4 albums right now are all West Coast. And I am biased to the West Coast, as we know, West Coast, best coast, whatever. Um, but even
Nintendo
taking that
sold.
out the way, like you have Schoolboy Q, you have Vince's album, Navy Blue, um, and you could throw Tyler in there. Like I don't know where I put this Kendrick album because it just came out,
Yeah.
but like West Coast outside of like Rhapsody, I don't know who's doing it like us. You feel me? We doing it. We doing it. We carried it this year. You know, underground and like the mainstream. The West Coast has like carried the sound.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like the narrative that people are acting like the West Coast hasn't been here. These people have all been here for a while now. It's just that we happen to have our biggest artists dropping and the underground artists. I don't even know if you consider Navy Blue underground. That they all drop at this year. That
Yeah.
doesn't normally happen in a year, you know. It's
Yeah.
especially
kind of overshadowing though some big like hip hop moments that we are getting this year because like it seems like every time like another region is doing something, the West Coast is like we're gonna drop 3 albums on your head. So like we're not gonna even talk about that shit that just came out. Like
I
it's
wouldn't say
literally
that's
Absol came out Tyler came out like a week later. Absol came out, and then Kendrick just came out. So you're like, they're not giving you any chance to breathe. I haven't even heard ASAP Ferg's album. Like that shit just went under the rug because of it. Like, oh, is it not? Is it not heat? Oh, that hurts my heart. I have it on my.
I didn't listen to it, but I didn't know that you were anticipating
No,
to
I like ASAP Ferg. I'm not like anticipating an ASAP Ferg album.
that's what I'm
Like
saying. I'm not really.
certain people they can't drop right now. Like
I
like
get that.
even Denzel Curry's like the bonus tracks that he added to his, haven't heard it. Haven't
Yeah,
had a chance to hear
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, I heard Kenny Mason stuff, but
Nah, Kenny Mason, that album was good.
the
That album
album's solid. You know, I had a couple of them songs I had to turn. I was like, you
that
got me
info.
reminiscing about lost ones. I don't need to be doing that while I'm at work. Not it for me.
Yeah.
It's very. I get where you was going with that album, Kenny Mason. But the some releases I haven't heard. You know, if it wasn't R&B, if you're a hip hop album that came out in the last 2 months, I haven't heard you pretty much. Sorry, the West Coast has just been carrying.
Yeah.
Like if we get a J Rock album,
We're
I'm
not,
going to be unbearable.
not getting that.
Stop shaking your head. We're getting it. Let's
We're
talk
not.
into existence. We're getting a J Rock album.
We'll
We're
get
gonna
Isaiah
do.
Rashad before we get J Rock, and that's not happening either.
Well, I don't need an Isaiah Rashad album, to be honest. I'm still good off
Okay.
the House is
Okay.
Burning.
Nah,
I'm still
hey.
I'm
Excuse me,
still
what that
good.
mean?
I could be wrong right now. I could be wrong right now, but I'm just gonna say it. That's my favorite Isaiah Rashad album. Like,
That's your favorite.
yeah.
This would be a good pivot. So before I give my top 20 TDE albums, I want to give some love to TDE. So TDE, to see their grind, to see how this label has become the best hip hop label, maybe the best label of all time outside of Motown, is insane. It's literally insane. Like I remember seeing Kendrick early on in his career, seeing him for like $10. I remember going to Rock the Bells in 2012 or 2011, one of the years, and they weren't even like that big. Like they were on at like 4 o'clock. And when I say they, I'm talking about Black Hippie, Schoolboy, Soul, Rock, and Kendrick. They were on at like 4 o'clock. They had like a 35-minute set between all four of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they were big at all. I don't even think Good Kid, Mad City was out yet. Like, they weren't that big. And the following year, mind you, I saw them and they were headlining another festival, Paid Dues in San Bernardino, California. That's like I've seen their growth, you know what I'm saying? We've only seen not only those four grow, but the label grow. We saw Isaiah Rashad get added. We saw SZA. We saw Sir, which is funny because I thought I was putting people onto Sir when I was at Northridge. Turns out Sir was already doing his damn thing, and I wasn't putting anybody on. They had Reason on there. I like Reason's music. You know, I wish him nothing but the best. You know, you're seeing people like Ray Vaughn, Zakari. You know, they just signed Alameda. Like TDE is the label when it comes to artist development, giving you a different sound, and I just love to see the growth, man. I love to see the growth of them boys. I love to see what they are doing. It inspires me, honestly, as a creative. It inspires me as somebody from the West Coast, from Southern California, to see them grow and to see what they're blossoming into. It's amazing. I love TDE though. You know, I am like always going to show love to the West Coast. I am West Coast biased, as some would say, but it doesn't matter because TDE has shown that they're one of the best labels ever. Like the only like negative thing that you can say about TDE is like their artists don't drop albums when like the fans really want. And honestly, I think that's an overblown thing. I think that's an internet thing because frankly, I like it when artists take time with their album. I like when it takes somebody 2, 3 years to drop an album because they are able to grow. They're able to mature. They're able to go through life and tour and all this stuff, and then give us a project. That's what we want. They have developed their artists. That's artist development. We see it with TDE. So shout out to TDE. Shout out to Top Dog. Shout out to Punch. Shout out to Musa. Punch, we still want a TDE solo album from you. I don't want no album with you in a group. No, 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 no. I want a Punch rap album. I'ma say it until I get it. You feel me? I'ma keep at it. Cause that verse you gave on that soul album made me want an album even more. But I'm going to give y'all my top 20 since it's been 20 years of TDE. I'm going to give y'all my top 20 TDE albums. At 20, we're going with Herbert. It's unironically or ironically, I have the merch on. Did not plan it, you know what I'm saying? It's just cold in my apartment, so I put it on. 19 Sylvia's Demo by Isaiah Rashad, which was my introduction to Isaiah Rashad. Yeah, dope project. You know, Shot You Down's on there. Menthol's on there. It's a fantastic project. 18 Alligator Bites Never Heal. I know it's technically a mixtape. It's an album to me. Granted, it's the only mixtape that I included because I don't see it as a mixtape. So 17, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Now, this is my least favorite Kendrick album, but it's also the most important Kendrick album for me because as somebody who is currently going through therapy, somebody who's currently changing and becoming a different person, to hear an artist on his level be this vulnerable, come on, man. Come on. At 16, 9005. 9, this is J Rock's album. This is, to me, J Rock's best album. This is probably the most slept on album of any of the TDE artists. This is just a fantastic project. Shout out to J Rock. I can't wait for your next album. At 15, Long Term Mentality. This was the album that made me go, Absol is that one. You know what I'm saying? Because the long term mixtapes, the number 1 and 2, you heard the potential. You heard it. I'm like, I was calling them West Coast Lupe for the longest because the lyrical ability. And I was like, he's just missing something, man. He needs that project. And Long Term Mentality was it. You got bangers like Gone Insane, Hell Yeah. You got some heat on there. Check it out if you haven't heard it. 14, Oxymoron. This is Schoolboy Q's album with the biggest hits. This is that album. Schoolboy was in his bag. This album has so many damn hits. It might have been the greatest hit album. It's that good. Shout out to Q. At 13, Sun's Tirade. When they took this album off streaming, I know some people who were losing their mind. Losing their mind. And I was just like, yo, y'all need to calm down. You need to chill. It's going to come back. You know what I'm saying? They always get it resolved. Get Top on the phone. It's going to get handled. Trust. At 12, SOS. And when SOS first came out, I thought it was solid, but I didn't. I was like, all right, cool. It's whatever. Man, the following weeks, I played the hell out of that. I played it so much. I probably played it more than SZA has played it. I played so many songs. I got songs on my work playlist, you know what I'm saying? Like Kill Bill, like I got my students singing it. Should I have them singing it? Probably not. But it's on the work playlist. It bangs. Shout out to SZA. At 11, November, Sir. I think Sir is probably, if not the best R&B artist, male R&B artist, top 3. You know what I'm saying? Sir has not given us a bad project. He's been consistent. He's always done his damn thing. Shout out to Sir. At 10, I'm going with Section 80. This is my favorite Kendrick album. Has my favorite Kendrick song with High Power. You know, like the bangers on this project. You got ADHD. You got Ronald Reagan era. Like you have so much heat on this project, man. Like this was the album that made me say that Kendrick's gonna be more than just some backpack rapper, because that's what I thought. And there's nothing wrong with like being a backpack rapper, but this one I was like, oh no, he can actually like make a commercial song. He can actually be that guy, and that's what I got with this album. I knew Kendrick was going to be something special after I heard this album. It's my favorite project from the man. At 9, Damn. This is probably his most universal album. This is also the album that won him the Pulitzer. This album by Kendrick, you got some of his biggest songs. You got Loyalty, Love, Humble, DNA. Like, those are some of his biggest songs on here. But then you got like top 5, arguably Kendrick songs with Duckworth and Fear. You got Phil on here. You got so many damn hits on this goddamn album. This album is great. Great, I tell you. At 8, The House is Burning. Probably a top 10 album, just no genre. Top 10 album of the 2020s so far. Isaiah Rashad within his bag. Score is such a fantastic song. 7, Chasing Summer. I'm so mad I missed the vinyl drop of this album. I am so mad I missed it, man. Like, it was, I just was like unaware, and by the time I found out, the album was sold out. I'm so mad that I didn't get it. The album is just fantastic, man. Sir in his bag. One thing Sir gonna do is give you a great R&B album. He might take his time, but when he drop, it's gonna be fantastic. I remember seeing Sir perform too, and I was like, this nigga is like, he's singing, and then like when he's talking, it's like you feel like he's threatening you. Or some of the stuff he was saying and stuff like that. But still, Sir is dope. Fantastic artist, fantastic music. Check out Sir if you haven't. Check out Chasing Summer if you haven't heard it. But if you're watching me, I'm sure you've heard Chasing Summer. At 6, Blank Face. Now, every Schoolboy Q, like diehard fan, like the ones who have Schoolboy Q as their favorite rapper, they all have Blank Face as their favorite Schoolboy Q album. Blank Face is one of them albums that if you told me this is the best TDE release, I wouldn't agree with you, but I would not argue with you because it's fantastic. It's a great album. It's an album that made me feel like I can be a drug dealer too. So there was one point I had to stop listening to this album because it made me really be like, man, fuck school, sell some drugs. Don't follow that advice, kids. If you're watching, if you're a kid and you're watching, turn this shit off. Um, at 5, Control. You cannot tell the 2010s R&B, the 2010 music without Control. Control literally defines a whole era. That album is fantastic. You cannot tell the story of the 2010s without Control. Control is that good. That album, I saw SZA twice. Like, I saw her twice when this album came out. Like, I love the album so much. The album also has like a little sore spot for me because every time my ex was mad, I don't know if she realizes that, she played the fuck out of this album. It got played. When I made her mad and I knew this album was getting played, I knew, oh, we weren't making up anytime soon. We weren't making up anytime soon. But it's a fantastic album. Control, SZA, fantastic. 4, I'm going with Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q. My album of the year. Still my album of the year. It's great. Blue Lips is, it's the production, the feature choices, the different flows, the beat switches, like everything about Blue Lips is just great, my boy. If you haven't heard Blue Lips, what are you doing? What are you doing with your time? All right. At 3, this might shock some people. I'm going with Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City is like a play. Not a play, it's like a movie. It's like you're literally listening to a movie on Kendrick's life. Like, you're hearing about the shenanigans he got into when he was a teenager and what he was doing with his friends and chasing booty and getting jumped and fighting and robbing and like the art of peer pressure and all that type of stuff, man. Being from SoCal too, this album I related to a little bit too much. I'm not gonna tell you what part of the albums I related to, but I related to the album a little bit too much. Good Kid, Mad City is a great album. It's just pressure. It's pressure. At 2, I'm going with Control System by Absol. This is an album that they need to press on vinyl yesterday. TDE, Trust me when I tell you this. If y'all press this album on vinyl, we are going to buy it. I might buy 3 copies myself because I want to give one out as a gift and I want to frame another album. This is one of my favorite hip hop albums ever. Absol was in his bag. This is like a masterpiece. Like I can teach a whole class on this album. This album is great. It's great. Like Control System is just one of them ones. Like I saw Hip Hop DX make their list and they did not have this album on there. And I lost a little respect of them as a publication because of that. Because this album is so freaking good. It's so good. Like it's Control System is one of them albums, man. Like in 10 years, we're going to talk about this album in a way like we're going to say it was ahead of its time. You know what I'm saying? The double entendre, the triple entendres, like the black lip pastor, black lip bastard. You feel me? Soul was in his bag. I'm telling you right now, though, TDE, press this on vinyl. We needed this yesterday. Put it on CD. Shit. Just sell it. I will buy it. I'm telling you right now. I will contribute so much to it. Fantastic album. And number 1, it's the obvious album. Maybe the greatest hip hop album of all time, To Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly is such a great album. It's like a masterpiece. Like the way that jazz and hip hop is blended, the subject matter, especially as a Black person, like to hear the stuff he's talking about, and especially at the time, the stuff we can relate to. Like my only critiques of this album ain't even the album. It's how white people love the album because they love it a little too much. Like, what you mean, all right, your favorite song? What you mean The Black of the Berry is your favorite song? What you mean you work out to this album? What? What are you working out to Black Struggle? Black Pain? What you talking about? Album is fantastic though. Album is fantastic. There's nothing that I can say about this album that hasn't been said already. It got all the critical acclaim, all the awards. Like the album is great, my guy. There's nothing I can say, my guy. The album is great, my guy. Hey, I'm about to start rapping in here. My guy. It's great. To Pimp a Butterfly, classic album. You can't make a top 5 hip hop albums of all time and not have it in that. That's how great it is. I don't care what your 5 is. I know To Pimp a Butterfly better be one of them. That's all I'm going to say. But that is my list of the top 20 TDE albums. Let me know what you think, whether you agree. Give me your top 5. Just have the conversation with your boy. I love talking to y'all. But before we get out of here, I got to give y'all the song of the week. Now, the song of the week are always going to be songs that I find from TikTok. So it's never going to be like the biggest artists and stuff like that. It's going to be from smaller artists, dope music that I find from TikTok while we still have the app. The song of the week, Will Cherry, Somewhere in Ohio. Check it out.
You ought to say, tonight is my night.
On the big screen, please don't forget about me. Please don't forget. Somewhere in Ohio, I know you're thinking of me. In the field of the open land, it's easy to see. When I run, I pray you catch up to me. Are you afraid of home or the unknown? Somewhere in Ohio, somewhere. I know you're thinking of me. I know you're thinking somewhere in the field of the open land. It's easy to see. I know it's easy to see. So easy. When I pray you catch up to me. I pray you catch up to me. without you around. Somewhere, 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 somewhere. Without you around. Somewhere in Ohio and all over America. I know it's not just my story, so that's enough about me.
Now, what do you want?
And that was Will Cherry, Somewhere in Ohio. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. If you're going to rate us anything else, your mama's a hoe. This has been your boy Jamal, Radio Raheem. This has been Open Mic. New episodes every Sunday, every Wednesday. You getting a 2-pack for that ass every week, man. Check us out. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay black. And if you ain't black still, stay blessed. Have a fun, wonderful day. Peace out.